Shout out Bruce Gas, aka Toka 2. You know I had to drop a track on my boy. Yeah, I've been here rapping boys out here telling baby. I'm the hard nigga, I ain't signed to no label. Hey, Bruce Gas putting no fights on the table. Calling that boxing since Kane versus Abel. Smoking Bruce Gas, I mean that shit was made. I'm the people's champion like Muhammad Ali. Shut up, Bruce Gas, one day we gon' meet. Yeah, we gon' blow it down, we gon' smoke hella weed. Yeah, we gon' blow it down, take a hit out the Toka 2. Slipping hella shots, feel like Tyson with the people. A little Glock on my side, but it hit just like Hector Cruz. Shout out man, chat real shit, that's my fucking dude. We always cooking on the panel. Strapped on my side, and I ain't talking about no sin. Bruce packs me the blunt, I'ma light it like a candle. Hey, non-stop bars, man, I always spit flames. Feel like Bruce Gas always got a different strain. Bitch, you ain't like me, you can never feel my pain. You win and you lose, well, this a fight game. Don't beef on the net and the shit won't change. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the game. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the chat. I ain't undisputed. Yeah, hold on, I ain't undisputed, but I want all the straps.
Yo, good afternoon. Good afternoon, any and all that came in here, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate it like you wouldn't believe. And I have the son of a guy that I grew up with, man, since I started watching boxing. I mean, dude, I started watching boxing in the late 60s through the 70s, but at the end of the 70s, there was this cat out of New York that was coming around, man, and they were making a lot of noise. And I mean, we all know who I'm talking about, but I'm fortunate enough today to have his son Hector Camacho Jr. on here with me, man. I'm going to bring him up. He just stepped in the back room, and it's an honor. Hector Jr., salute my brother.
Still macho time, Bruce. I appreciate they having me on, brother.
Hey, I appreciate you coming on, my man. I appreciate you coming on.
It's still macho time.
All right, hey, when did the love for boxing? I mean, I know you were born into it. You were probably before you even sucked on a tit, you probably had a boxing glove in your fucking wrapped up in boxing gloves, bro. Tell me when the bug bit you, my brother.
You know what? I guess the bug bit me when 1986 when my father fought Evan Reserve in Madison Square Garden. My father made the ring walk. As we got in the ring, he did a flurry. He said, "Go ahead, Poppy." I did a flurry. He lifted me up in Madison Square Garden in front of 19,000 people. I put my hands up. I wanted to be the Macho Man that day. I want to be somebody that day. That's when the dream was passed on that night.
Oh yeah, what was that? The Edwin Rosario fight?
Yes, a very hard fight in Madison Square Garden. The
Awesome.
fight that a lot of people say changed my father's style and changed his career.
Did it? Because I heard that many times, and I watched that fight, and I know Rosario nailed him with a couple of hard shots.
And that created a new style for the Macho Man as far as stick and move and box. I mean, once you get those kind of punches from a real puncher, you don't want to take too many of those shots. Boxing is safety first. You know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure that he felt that shot, and that kind of made my father the master boxer he became.
All right, I got this running on in Facebook, so I'm going to get in here and I'm going to make sure we can set it up so our Facebook fans can see us too, because that's what I caught you, champ, man. I had no idea what was happening on Facebook, and I saw you on there, and I requested you as a friend, and I'm like, wow, this is so cool, man. One of my childhood idols, dad, and man, I know I've seen you a lot on the internet too, Hector.
Thank you, Bruce.
I mean, you had a long career. People don't realize you have like 65 fights in your professional fights in your career.
I had about 67 fights in my career. Yes, I had a long professional career, and a star-stellar amateur career. I was the number one 109-pound fighter in 1996, going to the Junior Olympics. Going to 1996 Olympics, I number one in the nation. So yeah, man, it's not just the name. I do have the DNA that kick a fight. I can fight. But it's tough when your father is a superstar. is the legend of the game. You got fighters, you have champions, then you have superstars. Macho Camacho was a superstar.
Now, Macho was only 16 years old when you were born. Is that right?
Yeah, you're 15 on 16, 100% correct.
I mean, that's insane. Was
Young.
he more? I mean, I can't even imagine that. 36 years old. Maybe you can settle down, but man, 16 years old. Was he crazy when you were growing up? I mean, because he was still
I
growing
mean,
up.
as far as I remember, I was always told he was crazy. And I always thought he was crazy when I see his outfits and his everything. But when I look to it now, he was ahead of his time. And most people who's ahead of their time, we tend to call him crazy because we don't get it. If you look back at Macho Man's lifestyle, he was the real deal. But he always had that kind of New York madness in him. If you from New York, you got some kind of craziness in you.
He always wore a different costume in every fight. I mean, he was a Roman emperor. He was an Indian chief.
He was ahead of his time, Bruce. Ahead of his time. If you look at boxing today, you see Macho Camacho's handprint, the pioneer of the style, the man who brought that pizzazz to boxing. And you still see it now in these days and ever in boxing right now. He was the first self-made promoter, boxer. How much would Macho Camacho be worth now these days? I mean, forget about it, man. He changed the game. Not only that, he could fight. He had a great style. From New York.
Unbelievable style. When I got married the first time, I had my honeymoon. I was down in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and I looked for a place because there's not a lot of hotels down there, but they have houses that rent out rooms. And I made sure I got one with a TV because I wanted to see the Macho Man win his first world title against Bazooka Lamone. That was August 10th, 11th, 1983.
1983.
I mean, bro, that was I didn't expect him to have such an easy time with somebody like Bazooka Lamone. Bazooka was a killer, bro. I mean, and he handled him easy. That was just such a style that was flash and it had substance to it too, bro.
Yes, yeah, and during the young days, he still had that ghetto mentality. Macho Man was mean in the ring. He wasn't that pretty boy that go around the ring and box and move. No, he was aggressive when he first came up. And yes, and it showed in that fight, Bazooka Limon, 1983. The beautiful thing about that fight, I was 5 years old going on 6. I was a baby. But going to that fight that was made in Puerto Rico, they looked at Macho as the American, as the New Yorican, not the Puerto Rican. There's a big difference both from New York with being a New Yorican and a Puerto Rican. So that fight, Macho was looked at as a New Yorican. He won the crowd over that night when he blasted out Bazooka Limon winning the first world championship. So I mean, when I look back, I look back at the history book the Macho Man left behind. It's pretty deep.
Real deep. Now, when you grew up, was it easy, or did you grow up in the violent streets like your dad did? I mean, you at least when you grew up, you had some money. Your father was established. It wasn't like welfare or anything. But what was your life growing up? Did you get in a lot of street fights, and did you have to do a lot of slapping around?
Bruce, that's the thing that people always thought Macho Camacho's son grew up in a silver spoon. No, I was in the hood. I grew up in 112 2nd Avenue, Jefferson Project, the crime-infested, drug-infested neighborhood. Yes, I was raised in the boys' club to not be in the streets of Spanish Harlem, which was dangerous and drug-infested. So at first, my father was around. He was like my superhero. I see him on TV, and when he's around, then everybody come see me. It was one of those type of things. He was my superstar, and it was like that to the age of 12. But I grew resentment because people just make fun of me. Oh, you Camacho son? Now, you ain't Camacho son. What you doing in the neighborhood? Why you live in the projects? You Camacho son? Let's fight. I had to always be challenged, always a target. So it had its good side. I used to get stopped when I was small. People in New York used to walk by. Oh, that's Camacho son. I gotta take a picture. Oh, that's Camacho son. Hey, show it to me. Can I shake your hand? I used to get that when I was young. I was kind of famous growing up in the streets of Spanish Harlem. That's where we from. But then I grew resentment because when people just snap, I just get in fights, and I didn't understand why my father was on HBO and I was here in the projects in the hood, and people would make snap at me and make fun of me. They ain't Camacho, son. What you doing living in the project? And your father's on TV. So, I still quiet for a while. I tell people who my father was, and it grew resentment over the years. But now, fast forward to nowadays, it was all worth it. I totally understand me being a fighter. That you gotta travel, you gotta put sacrifices, to leave behind for the legacy, and I totally understand now. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't easy. I didn't go up in a silver spoon, no. And actually, it wasn't my father put me in boxing; it was my mother put me in boxing. We moved to Orlando, Florida, in 1992, when my father fought. He fought Chavez. He had a great paycheck. He gave us a down payment on a house of Orlando, Florida. So we left Spanish Harlem to Orlando, Florida for better living, a better lifestyle. When we got to Florida, I remember coming out of school, my mother said, son, you cannot stay home and do nothing. This wasn't like New York City where you get out of school, you get the PAL league, you play basketball, the boys club, you go to the boys club and you're safe, you can play games all day, go home, go to sleep. No. In Orlando, when I got there, it was basically that, come out of school, go home, do nothing. So it was my mother said, let's go to the gym, son. Let's go to the boys club. My mother forced me and took me to the boys club. That's something I was going to buy. I wanted to be Roberto Clemente, a baseball player. I didn't have to fight. He did everything for me. But he was that light, that vision, that saying that anything's possible. I mean, we come from Spanish Harlem. He made it to the White House to meet Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan sent an invitation over to meet this Macho Man, to meet this charismatic superstar for Spanish Harlem. So, when I seen that, I'm telling myself, ain't this possible? That's the American dream.
Yeah, wow. Now, when you turned pro, did that shadow follow you around as a pro too? What people expect?
Always, I was always a target. Always a target. I will Camacho son. Always a target. Sparring. I go to the gym when I was coming off sparring. Everybody wants to spar me. I will Camacho son. You become a target in the gym. So it has its pros, but it has its cons too. You know what I'm saying? And you always get that. Hey, you good, but not as good as your father. You always get that. But my goal, Bruce, when I came up in the boxing game, was to become a 3-time world champion, 4-time. No, my goal is to be known for myself. Hector Camacho Jr. And I believe I achieved that when I was an HBO fighter, and I was main event on HBO KO Nation. My father fought on my undercard. That was my 3-time world champion. And that's what I wanted out of boxing. I want to be known for myself. But then again, when you got a father with that kind of fame, who's an icon, who's a legend in the game, I didn't use it as a shadow. I used it as a light. I embraced it. He was special.
You're not going to escape it, bro. I mean,
I can't. I try not to. It helped me when I was young. It helped me with with the girls and everything. It helped me with the fame. But up to today, it helps. But life is life.
I'll tell you now, life is life, man. Now, your dad, he had trouble with that cocaine, bro. I mean, that was the downfall. Like the story says, when he was found murdered, there were a dozen bags around his body. It was very sensationalized. Did you find trouble yourself? Did the drugs try to take the best of you, bro?
You know what, Bruce? A little different. I grew up in that lifestyle, watching my father. I've been around his whole career. I was his eyes. I was to watch how the people suck up to him, leech him for his money, leech him for his fame. And I grew up watching that. I didn't want that around me. When it comes to the drugs, no, thank God, man. I'm a Muslim, man, and I put God first, everything I do. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. That was his vices. Remember, Macho Man came, like most of us, the Latinos, and our brother, our blacks, and everything. We grew up in a single parent household. We didn't have a father figure around us, so we in the street trying to make things happen. And my father grew up, with needs. He was out in the street. That was the lifestyle he was in. There's a saying: you live that lifestyle, a fast lifestyle, you go out the fast way. And that's so to speak what the Macho Man lifestyle came out to be. I mean, I always figured, I love my father. I always figured that his lifestyle would go out with a bang, same way he came in with a bang. Because he was just excitement. He was always, it was going to go out with a bang one way or another. And it's sad, because, like I said, he's the American dream for me. He did a lot. He made it to the White House. But that vice, that drugs, man, the streets. Like when he passed away, I didn't blame the killers for his death. I blame the streets. The streets are for cars. There's nothing good in the streets. You either go to jail or you're going to pass away. You're going to die. That's the only thing that's in the streets. I never seen a retired drug dealer, a retired killer, a retired murderer. So I'm retired. You know what? I'm give the game up and I'm doing no more. That don't exist. So that's what's in the streets. So we got to do better, man. That's what we got. When you grow up in an environment, we come from Spanish Harlem. That's what's out there. That's all we know.
Well, if people can get that message, man, that makes it all worthwhile. Because we want.
Hey, Bruce, boxing is not like basketball, baseball, football, where you have to have a college degree to get into the sports to be a pro. No, boxing, we come from the streets. We exploited. We come from the hood, no education. And, we don't have no investment plan. We don't have no 401k plan. We don't have none of that in boxing. It's not like some of these associations, the basketball, the leagues, where they take care of their athletes. We don't have that in boxing. It's a poor man's sport. No matter how much money being made in the sport, we tend to retire broke. Because there's no financial caution. We come from the hood.
That's such a fact, my brother. That's such a fact. How many fighters I see now who they were their names were splashed in the headlines. They were in all major fights, made major money, and they're all broke now. They're all
doesn't matter how much money you made. Mike Tyson ran through $400 million. The Macho Man ran through $40 million. I've seen it. It's a lifestyle. It's something we don't have no financial course. You need no college education. You need nothing. Come from the hood. Come on, kid. Let exploit you. When you're no good no more, we throw you to the wolves. That's it. Bye-bye. It's a dirty business. It's a beautiful sport, but an ugly business. And it's rare you got fighters like the Mike Tysons, like the George Foreman, like the Macho Camacho. After the fight game is done with, they still relevant. Because their charisma, their personality, their gimmick is a gig, it's a gimmick. You need to keep on in life.
Man, I'll tell you.
Mixed up sport, huh?
We're getting the raw side of it over here. We're getting what you don't hear. What you don't hear about boxing. People try to sweep it under the carpet. They try to sanitize it and shit. And it's a dirty fucking sport, bro. It chews you up and spits you out.
All the money the Macho Man made for these promoters, you think I could call Don King right now? Don, listen, my father made Don King over a bunch of $1 million. You think I could call Don King right now? Don, listen, man, I need help. No. Once you done, they can't use you no more. You kick to the curb. That's the boxing. You can't hate the game. You can't hate the game. Learn from it. That's what I tell the young folks. Yo, study the boxing game. Study it.
Now, if your kids
and not everybody go into the box become a millionaire. Not everybody become world champion. Not everybody become good. You got good fighters. You got okay fighters. You got great fighters. It's tough business, man. It's tough business. But I love it. They don't beat the thrills.
Would you want your kids to get into the game today?
If we consist of getting them out the streets, saving lives, keeping them in something, yeah, it's an outlet. It's proven. Yeah, you can make it out of poverty. Hell yeah, that's what they want to do. What am I doing? Want to do? I support them. Look at kids. Sports are the best thing for kids. Sports. After you take your kid out of school to put them in sports, they tired. They don't want to hang out on the streets. They want to go home, go to sleep for the next day. Sports save lives, man. So yeah, it's an ugly business, and I would hate to be a part of it again. But hey, I know it's an exit. It's a dream. It was my dream coming up.
Hey, and we're here to try to keep that dream alive, to let people know that the spirit, the macho spirit, it's macho time somewhere in this world tonight, bro. Macho time.
Yeah, it's still macho time. And macho means you gotta be macho in the ring. Macho being a good father, being macho. Being a good son, being macho. Being a good husband, being macho. It's a whole thing worth for being a macho. It's not just being in the ring, beating somebody up. No. And I tell these kids, man, boxing the parents. Boxing is not only good for going to the ring and fight, for self-confidence, self-esteem. Bullying is a big issue nowadays. Kids being bullied. I got a children's book called Macho Dad I put out there. I like to work with the youth. They're the future. The blessings I have, I gotta pass it down. The blessings I've seen through the Macho Man, I gotta pass the secret down. I can't take it with me. There's a part of Macho Camacho in every street corner. But they need the metal race. They need that help.
man.
Hey, Bruce, we all blessed with God-given talent in this world. Each and every one of us are blessed with talent. Whether we use it or don't use it, we gotta tap into ourselves to take that talent out. We all blessed. You do great things that I can't do. I can fuck somebody up with no problem. You probably can't do that. But we all blessed with different talent. We gotta tap into ourselves. Society consumes us so much in life, the bills, everyday struggle, that we don't got time to focus on ourselves. We all blessed with, we all kings, we all gods, man.
Hector, you keeping up with boxing today?
I keep my eyes on boxing. I salute the young fighters, the Devin Haney, the Ryan Garcia, the Tank, the Teofimo Lopez, keeping boxing alive. These young fighters are really risking it now, young, something that happened years ago. But on the other side of it, they ain't too many big name, household names. And that's scary in boxing. The YouTuber took over in boxing. Boxing a little bit everywhere right now. So, I mean, it's kind of tough, so let's see what happens, No more HBO, no more Showtime, so.
Well, the fighters don't fight like they used to. I mean, they're fighting once a year. If we're lucky, such a lack of activity that people forget about boxing. People are forgetting about. They're not paying attention to it. Boxing used to be the top sport in the world back in the day. It was like the number 3 sport behind baseball and football, and now it's like it's an afterthought. It's way below the top 10. It's a sin. It's a sin what happened to boxing, man. It is. But
it became a mess. People blame Floyd Mayweather for it. The YouTuber fighter doing this, but then again, Floyd earned his way to be able to do that. I mean, this kid was marvelous. He was great in his time. So if anybody deserves to do these kind of things, these YouTubers, and it's Floyd Mayweather. He did bring a lot to the game. He already proven himself. Right? He could afford to do it, but what he left behind is fucked up with the business. Now it makes no sense. It's about more followers than it is who got talent. About putting butts in the seats. Same token, DJ Pause. Also, I can't get more brothers. Put in seats. That's what boxing is about. Putting butts in seats. That's your value. It don't matter if you're good looking, if you're a good fighter, you're an ugly fighter. If you put butts in seats, that's your value. That's your market. That's what makes you who you are. The Macho Man put butts in seats. Tyson put butts in seats. DJ put butts in seats.
Some people want to see the Macho Man get his head taken off. Some people wanted to see your dad get his head taken off, but they still paid the money to get their butts in that. Watch it, man.
Especially your people in Rhode Island, wait for Vinny Pazienza. I want to get Camacho's head cut off. I hate that motherfucker. I remember the Italians. I remember during that time. Rhode Island, I remember I was in Atlantic City in the elevators as I asked people, who you going for tonight? Camacho Pazienza. The Italians tell me, hey, son, I can't wait to see Camacho get his ass kicked. And they hate the Macho Man, but then they learn to appreciate him in time.
He threw a Kotex at Vinny Pazienza.
I remember that. They had bad blood. Vinny told me, and I love Vinny Pazienza. I still see him to this day. He still tell me jokes. He still tell me things that happened to him, my father. Like, you can see the joy in his face. I love you, old man. I fucking hated him, but I love him. I appreciate that, man. Just the stories. I appreciate that, man. You need characters in boxing. You need these characters to keep boxing entertaining.
All these guys, they fight like they fight like they owe each other money, but when they see each other down the road, man, there's nothing but love there. I've seen some of these arch enemies get together, especially now that we're on social media. And man, I'm looking at James Toney and Iran Barkley. They want to kill each other, but bro, they
great fighters, wars. That fight was a war, and they love each other. That's the sport of boxing.
It is, man. Hey, let me say hi to people that came in here, bro. Because it'd be like me and you talking to each other. So let me shout out, man. Garcia was in here, man. My buddy Angel Diaz is in here, man. That guy Bones. Shout out to you, brother. I see JC, my man, is out there. I see my brother Joe, the boxing historian from Ireland, is in here, man. Rolling with the punches. Skywalker Boxeo. Skywalker, that's Bobby Chacon's nephew.
Shout out to Bobby Chacon. My father's first world championship, Bobby Chacon left bacon.
That's it, bro. And the drunk Irishman, the Iceman, And let's see. Stop Motion MMA. Shout out to you, my brother. My sister Wingstar. Shout out to you. And Victor Oliveras, man. Hey, thank you, cats, for coming in here, man. I'm in here talking to the son of the Macho Man. A Macho Man in his own right. Still Macho time. Hey, Hector. It ain't no secret, bro. I see you on Facebook all the time. You're always poking on that weed. Tell me about your love for Mary Jane.
You know what's crazy? When I was growing up, my father's mother, my grandmother, she woke up in the morning, and when she was pissed off, I knew she needed something. She needed her medicine. After she smoked and she would clean the house, she would cook, she was happy. So throughout the years, I know the cannabis is a medicine, and I've been exposed to a lot of things. I fell in love with the cannabis, just the benefits behind it. I also got my own business in the cannabis, and the Macho Man Cannabis is on the West Coast. Special thanks to my partners. Yeah, I'm in the game. I'm in the business game of cannabis.
Macho Time Cannabis, bro. I mean, damn, you got a whole audience out here, man. Now you met.
Yeah, Google Macho Man Cannabis. Anytime you're in the South Side, anytime you're in the West Side, look it up. Because you know the dispensary, I got in the gig. I want to educate people, what the cannabis could do. That's something we got in our system called a cannabinoid system. That's something in our system already. It's called a cannabinoid system. Look it up. So I mean, this is something that's going from the ground. It has its benefits. The government said, it's drugs. Then when they find out the benefits, you couldn't no longer keep the secret. Now they took over it. Now it's legal, but they keep in charge of it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, hey, the miracle man.
It saved my life. I mean, it's keeping me going to this day. Me and my wife, we love each other. If we ain't got no weed, then we're like Macho Camacho and Ray Boom Boom Mancini in that ring. I mean,
you understand that? Yeah, man. Yeah, you understand. A little talk, you get a little snicker break. Everything's happy. You're hungry. You're happy. Yeah, But
I'm 69 years old. I go for my annual physical. I see the doctor all the time. I tell him, I said, I've been smoking weed for 50 years. I get the chest x-rays. I get the blood test. It's done more benefits to me, I feel, than it's done harm, man. I mean, and now you get the vape. You have to deal with the smoke. You get the edibles. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing, man. And hey, it keeps us off the hard stuff too. I have no desire to fuck around with the coke or the H or pills or none of that crap, man. I mean, it's a gift from God.
That's the real drugs. That's the real drug. The pill, the over-the-counter Tylenol. That's opium. That's real drugs.
Yes, it is.
That's a whole other topic, story. So,
believe me, I had that monkey on my back for years. That thank God, it's gone. It's buried. But the cannabis, bro. I mean, I love the medical cannabis, the recreational cannabis. I mean, it's the thing. And what do you think? What do you think of the way the boxing commissions are handling it? Some states are letting it go. Nevada, you can get away with it. Down in Texas, where you're at.
Yes.
I mean, what happened to what was it? Was it Oshaki Foster, wasn't it?
Yeah, Shaki Foster, Chavez. We all got fined in the game of boxing. I just couldn't smoke weed. During that time as well, it's part of my. I just get caught in my test positive. I get fined. I just complain like, yo, this shit. The weed don't make you Superman. That other shit, the guy takes steroids. That make him Superman, and you gotta give him a slap on the wrist. But on weed, you want to fine me. I just argue with the commission about that. They doesn't make you Superman. It makes you feel like Superman because you high, but it doesn't do nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? So. Thank God Vegas Commission really give you a slap in the arm, slap in the wrist down. They don't mess you. You come out cannabis, you come out THC positive. But the things behind the reason why you can't sleep at nighttime, take a choke, eat a gummy, something that for anxiety. It's a lot of things, man, that works with, There's things that fighters go through people don't see behind the scenes, the mental aspect in for a fight. You're a family guy, your wife, you have to take care of your family. You gotta train, you gotta juggle all that. The interview, the training, you have to lose weight, the grind every day. You're in a bad mood, you training. It's a lot of things that can help us out doing it. And also for concussion. When I found out cannabis helped with the concussion part of it, I was like, God damn, this is a pre-workout. You know what I'm saying? But it's more about educating, man. So I plan to do a lot of seminars this year coming up. I hooked up with Dr. Umar, great cannabis doctor. She got my back. And we plan on doing a lot of seminars, boxing events, man. The night before, speaking to them, educating about the cannabis system.
Hey man, that's one of the main reasons I think people like us are here for, to educate these people and let them know that that this weed that God gave us has a lot more properties than just sitting around the back seat, going to the show and puffing on a Corona. it's a beautiful thing. And I mean, like I said, I think if I didn't have it, I don't think I'd be around today doing what I'm doing. So I mean, shout out to the cannabis. I mean, shit, you can fucking get it online now. Back with 10 years ago, you'd be thrown in jail. They'd lock the fucking doors on you. And now it's a whole.
They do delivery service in California. You call this person and they send it to your house. Like, wow.
An amazing thing, my brother. An amazing thing. Hey, a shout out to my man Bickle out there, my brand Iceman. You need to go on tour. You need to go on a tour with Bruce, and you educate my friend Iceman. Hey man, we all love the hemp in here. We all love the cannabis. We realize that alcohol is a dangerous drug, man. Fucking all those opiates, man. Those pills, those Percodins, those fucking codeines, all that shit, man. That's gonna kill you. You stick with the weed. And you see that shit would hinder your training. You can smoke the weed and you can still get out. You can go work out every day. You can run.
Yeah, you could. It helps. Look at Michael Phelps.
Absolutely. Hey, getting back to some boxing now, man. What was the fight where you knew it was time to hang the gloves up? I mean, some people say it was a Jesse James Leija fight.
No, the Leija fight was kind of a wake up. I was in the prime of my career. I was the next Latino superstar. My next fight was Arturo Gatti, Oscar De La Hoya. After that, I was negotiating for big fights. I just said the next day I woke up in the morning. The next day, the New York City papers in my hometown, Camacho's a coward. I see how the boxing world turned their back on me. I should have known. I should have knew better because they did the same thing my father fought Rosario. They turned back on him. So when I seen that, that gave me a bad taste in my mouth. Definitely, I kept on fighting, but not with the same fire no more. So I mean, that could be one of the fights that changed my ways of being. But as you see, over 60 fights, I'm still clean. I'm not punched. I'm not beat up on. I take care of myself. I know with the cannabis, but I haven't been hit. I haven't been punished as much, So I still feel good. I still feel fresh at my age. I still feel good. Thank God, Thank God to boxing.
Nah, bro. I see you on Facebook all the time, and anybody that wants to check out Hector, he does a lot of lives, man. Just go over to Facebook, follow him. I'm sure he'll follow you back, bro. I mean, this is one of the people's men, bro. I mean, Macho Camacho. Back in the fucking 80s, man. My mind is still in dazzles walking to the fucking ring. How about when he went to Anchorage, Alaska, bro? Knocked out Johnny Montez in one round. You only a young kid.
Monte was good.
Yes, he was, bro. I was so amazed when he did that. I think the promotion was longer than the fight. They showed him flying up there. He had to get on a small single engine plane to get to the island, and I mean it was fucking desolate. And that's when he dressed like an Eskimo too. He had a big parka on.
Yes. Classic, man. Classic.
Macho time. So let's get back to you again. I'm sorry. I sorry I interrupted you, bro. I'm old now. I get these thoughts, and if I don't come out, I forget the fucking things, man. That's the only bad thing about the weed, I think, man. The short-term memory loss.
I don't understand why. It's supposed to help us with that. It's supposed to have Alzheimer's. Like I don't understand. Anytime I'm high, I lose everything. I never understood that, but that's a whole nother,
That's a whole nother thing. So when was it time to hang those gloves up and pass the knowledge on to somebody else?
I fight. We never think about it's over. We never. Once a fighter, always a fighter. I still flow with the idea of doing exhibitions and doing a couple of things. I still feel young. But, it comes to a time when your body says no more. It depends on the person, the abuse you put in your body. I've never been beat up on. I don't take no drugs. I just smoke my cannabis. I don't party. I don't do none of those things, break nights. I still feel extra young. But that really crossed my mind. I've been retired now for a couple of years, and I'm happy. I do like I said in boxing, the retirement plans. I stay busy. I took my time to Hollywood. A couple of acting gigs coming up this year, so I try to keep myself, busy. Keep the mind busy.
Awesome, bro. Awesome, man.
I write books. I told you book. I'm also writing a script right now for a film, a TV series coming out on my life story, going to Camacho. So I try to stay busy always, Bruce, man. Always on the grind, always. What can I do today better? What can I do? I'm always looking to improve myself in some way, somehow.
Now, I'm going to bring up a soft subject here. Maybe it's not, but why did you fight David Lemieux? Why did you go in there? I mean, he was 30 pounds heavier than you, and they show that knockout on highlight reels. Just
I hate the motherfucker. I hate that fucking highlight. And it's I was in Panama. I was on vacation. I was with my wife. Smoking my trees, living life on vacation. I got the phone call. Hey, Macho, you want to fight David Amuse? When? 3 weeks. Damn, I'm not in shape, man. Well, there's a purse of this much. God damn, yeah. I looked up on YouTube and I seen a special David Amuse. I said, I'll take the fight in 3 weeks. Me trying to be macho. Something I never done. The guy was strong. Guy's a puncher. If you ask me right now, does he hit hard? I don't know. I got caught some shit I didn't see. And the fight just finished like that. When I got up, I couldn't believe I got knocked out. What happened? I got knocked out. Get out of here. I had to look at the screen, the Jumbotron, to see what happened. I couldn't believe it. I didn't feel nothing. I didn't see it. It's one of those type of situations, man. Yeah, if he's good, I don't know if he's good. I thought I was winning the first round until I got caught. And that's boxing. That's boxing. Plus, I went there out of shape. I'm thankful for the second half of my career. I didn't take it serious. I was on the way, just taking a fight to take it. I put myself through risks, and thank God, I exited the game okay. But that's a fight I never took. I bounced from 140 to 160 to take that fight. He was pretty solid. Nothing special. He was solid.
And he was up and coming, undefeated knockout artist. And I mean, they
wanted that trap. They used the name
record. He wanted the Camacho name on his record, and
I gave it to him. Not thinking, look at the money, big paycheck. Wow, look, easy fight. That type of situation and that affected the fighter's career. But thank God I left the fight with no injuries.
No, bro. I mean, your sharp as a tack. You still look pretty. How old are you, may I ask?
45. I still believe George Foreman won the title at 46, but on Hopkins at 49, Charles at 47. I still believe it's still macho time.
Hey, there's still a lot of exhibitions that can be made, bro. I mean, no doubt about it. Your name will draw some dollars. I mean, you did an exhibition with your dad's old nemesis, Julio Cesar Chavez. That was your last time in the ring, wasn't it?
A dream come true. A dream come true fighting Chavez. That was a fight that I always wanted from young. When he beat my father in 1992, September 12th, I always wanted Chavez. And I tried to get Chavez. I fought on Chavez undercard a couple times. Even doubleheader when he fought across the suit. I fought the same like a former world champion, Philip Holiday. And we never had that fight. So at this point, I wanted any Chavez. I wanted Julio Jr. We never got it done. I wanted Chavez, Pablo, Jackie, Pedro. I wanted any Chavez. I didn't care. He finally gave me the call back. He said, Camacho, I'll give you the exhibition. So that was a blessing. That's something I always wanted. That was the highlight of my life, of my career, So yeah, just sharing the ring with that legend is priceless,
Yeah, man. I mean, he was a great legend too. I mean, I watched 80s and 90s. I think that's almost all I did was do fucking dope and watch boxing. But I watched the Macho Man and Chavez, and I mean all those fucking fights. Everyone we
watching the greats during the 80s, the greats.
Last night they had boxing on YouTube, a Thursday night fight, and it was Jojo Diaz and I think it was a guy Jesus Ramos. I can't remember the opponent's name, but Jojo Diaz got beat. It was an upset, and it was great.
Wow.
Yeah, and Jojo's a club fighter. He goes anywhere. I mean, he was Golden Boy was trying to get him on a winning track again, and
wow.
Jesus Perez was the guy who beat him. A tough kid out of Mexico, and well, my original point was on this, brother. It was fucking live boxing on Thursday night, and it wasn't a crazy fight like the one we had last week with the big championship fight we have. Anyway, this was a good club fight, it was Jojo Diaz, Jesus Perez. It was a fucking close fight, a split decision, but it was great to have it live on fucking YouTube. Weeknight fights, weekday night fights again, like on Tuesday night fights when we watched Macho Camacho fight on ESPN
That helped
fights.
boxing. That helped boxing. The weekday boxing. The weekday people love, seeing boxing. During those days, you were home. You had to work tomorrow. That was a perfect time and perfect space to watch boxing.
And I think they might be on the right track of doing that again. That's 2 Thursday nights in a row we had fights. They just got to get the formula down. This one was great. It wasn't on too late for the East Coast. I guess it wasn't on too early for the West Coast. And see, this is another thing. This time zone stuff. I love what these Saudis are doing. What do you think of boxing in Saudi Arabia?
Oh, I love it, man. I love my Muslim brothers putting these big fights on. And they're paying for these big fights. Entertainment. That's what it's called. Entertainment. I love it at its best. Now boxing is global now. You got a lot of European fighters coming in now, being nice, strong. Before you had the Mexican fighters, you had just selected, race, but now boxing, in a way from Japan is worldly right now. So yeah, it's a blessing. That's a blessing.
Absolutely. Nando Lamas, my brother. Shout out for you coming in here, man. All the rage, George Page, my brother for life, Mad Chad is out there. And hey, man, any of you guys have any questions you want to ask Hector Camacho Jr. here, bro? I'm lucky enough to have him on for an interview, and
My blessing, Bruce.
I mean he's
The fact is, Bruce,
cool dude, man.
thanks to people like you, because when we leave boxing, we nobody. But you keep us relevant. And then you give more credit, people add yourself for keeping us fighters relevant, putting us out there in a podcast show for the people who see our fans to see us. Because tell you the truth, we need this. Because us fighters are prima donna. We used to always be in the limelight. And once that light is cut, it's sad. So thanks to people like you for keeping us alive. If it wasn't for the fans, the Macho Man would be the Macho Man. Us fighters would be who we are. It wasn't for the fans.
No, and I love doing it too. It gives me a lot of pleasure. It's almost like, see, I've had a million jobs in my life. One of my lifetimes I was a broadcaster, and doing this again, finding out you can just click up your fucking StreamYard and your YouTube, and it's like doing it again. And plus, I got the connections. I'm having guys like you. I'm having a lot of fighters that I bring on here, Marlon Starling and Tim Witherspoon,
Ooh.
and I mean, there's just so many of them.
Marlon Starling, he was a killer.
The magic, these guys are my friends now. I call them up on a regular basis. Leon Mohammed, I love Leon, bro. I mean, Leon is the man. And in fact, I talked to Tim yesterday. He told me he was just with you 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, he was in Atlanta, Georgia together. I love Timmy, man. I love Timmy. Cool dude, man. I love Timmy. Love him.
P, how we doing out there, bro? Thank you for coming by, man. And we're just going down memory lane here, bro. I mean, we got everything. We got the past, we got the present, we got the future. That's one of the things I love about this, man. And that's that's my thing about you too, Hector, man. You don't live in the past, but you love the past. And yeah. I mean, you got your eye on the prize. There's things happening down the road, and right now in the present, man. I mean, it's just it's the here and now, brother. And yeah. I'm fortunate enough to have you here and now, my man.
God is great. God is great, man. Just believe in yourself. We don't get punched in the face in life. Life is ups and downs, man. Just keep believing. We all have a purpose. Fight for your purpose.
What's the biggest lesson your dad left with you?
Tomorrow's not guaranteed to nobody. I didn't expect my old man to leave. I expect to be Macho time forever. That's one of them I learned, that tomorrow's not guaranteed. Enjoy your time now and give and love yours. Other thing he showed me was anything possible. Anything possible. My father was locked up in Rikers, stole cars, was a hoodlum in the streets fighting, and they gave him one more opportunity, a chance in life. He said, I'll go into boxing, I won't get in trouble no more. He did that. He dedicated his life to boxing. It's unfortunate how he went out, but he lived his life. That's all you could ask for in life, to live your life and leave a legacy. And that's why he left me behind a legacy. And for boxing fans who loved him, he left back behind memories and legacy. That's wow.
And how does he want to be remembered as?
You know what? This is how they want to remember him as. But I'll come and think about fun, love, excitement. I've been around some crazy shit around there. I see so much things, man. That like wow, you know. But it's crazy how life just go by so fast, you know. That it feel like yesterday, and I look now and Pop's not around no more. I feel like that movie came and left so fast. And sometimes, I sit home and think about it. Damn, the great times when my father walked in the ring and he had this outfit on and wow, and how people were screaming, how, wow, and it's forgotten now. Like time left, time goes, you know. So it's like surreal when you think about it, you know. Live your life now, enjoy your life.
Oh yeah, I know
What
you
we leave
said it.
behind is a legacy for our kids. That's what we leave behind.
You said it, my brother. You said it, man. And hey, I mean, I had you on here for 45 minutes. I appreciate you giving me your time, man.
Yes,
And
thank you, brother.
anything you want to say, man? I mean, first of all, is it okay? After we get off here, send me the address where people can get a copy of your book, and if they want to get an autographed T-shirt too, brother. I mean, let's keep
Yeah.
this thing going, and people dig merch too, man. You know, we live in an internet age, but I like getting that solid stuff in my hands, and hard copy. I'm kind of old school, and we'll put that information out there. So if anybody wants a T-shirt, or if they want to get
Yeah.
a copy of this book, man, Macho, it's a comic book. It's,
It's a children's book, cartoon book for kids, teaching kids how to deal with the loss. Kids deal with losses every day, whether it be the animal, whether it be a parent, a human being, would be their favorite bird or dog. Kids go to death every time, and this book is teaching the kid that if your father died, if somebody died, that's not necessarily the end of it. The life after death, so that's basically what the book's about. So
that's a, that's where we got to think, my brother. That's where we got to think.
it's Macho time, Bruce. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. Anytime you need me, as I get updates on my upcoming events and fights, I'll definitely let you know. It's a pleasure to be on. And you know what time? It's just still Macho time.
Absolutely, brother. God bless you, man. Peace.
Thank you, Bruce, brother. Thank you, brother. God bless you.
Hey, Macho Man Jr., Macho Man Hector Camacho. That was some very, very cool stuff, very interesting stuff. And thank you all for coming on here. Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. My brother Mad Chad. I'll probably be jumping over to your channel, check out what's going on over there for a little bit, and see what's going on here. We got boxing coming on tonight, man. We got a big card coming on at 9 o'clock. Oshaki Foster and Abraham Supernova. And there's a bunch of good fights on the undercard. I know there's a heavyweight fight. Guido Vianelli. That's the dude that Johnny fucking, what's his name, man? He knocked out Michael Cole. Johnny Rice. Johnny Rice knocked him out recently. He's back again. And in fact, let's check out that card. Let's see if we can find it. Here we go. Boxing schedule. Oshaki Foster and Abraham Nova. Andreas Cortez and Brian Chevalier. Choo Choo Cunningham, Carrington, Bruce Carrington, and Bernard Torres. But there's I want to see some of the undercard fights, because there are some interesting undercard fights on that. It's coming up shortly, 9 o'clock, man. Maybe I'll come back and it's on ESPN Plus. So we'll be watching that. I don't know if I'm going to come on and do it live. I don't know, maybe, who knows? Because in fact, I got a lot of I got some very, very good weed today. Speaking of the cannabis, I mean, cool thing talking to Hector too, man, because Hector loves his herb. If you love your herb, you're definitely on the side of Bruce Gas. It's getting dark now. Usually I already got the lights on. Now it's getting getting dark. I have to turn the lights on over here. Okay, now I can see what's in front of me because the sun is setting down on the bay behind me over here. And it's cold out there, man. It's 34 degrees. A little too cold a little too cold to go out for a walk with the dog. I already took him out twice today. That was my existence today. Walking the dog and then coming in here. But the walks were kind of long. First one was about a mile and a half, maybe 2 miles. The second one a little bit shorter. But it's cold out there, man. My propane is getting sucked up. I can hear it. I got it down to 68. It's cold in the house, but not that cold. I got the crystal clear bong. I got two strains today. I got one is called strawberries and cream, which I'm smoking right now. The other one's called Dutch Treat. That's the strawberries and cream. I don't know. I can't taste strawberries in there. Oh, I already took Bruno out twice today, Angel. Bruno's been out there, man. He's had his run. What I want to do is, let me put my boys on in the background here. Keep the boys playing. And you know, I usually have a box of Kleenex next to me. My wife, I told her I ran out of Kleenex today, and I get nasal drip. I need Kleenex around me. Only in the winter. In the summer is no problem, but I ran out of them. So you know what I got here? I got the old standby. What was left on the roll, left on the hanger. So we're there. This is a jazz band right here, man. This is Evan Sherman Trio. Evan Sherman on the drums, Emmett Cohen on piano, and Russell Hall on the bass. They're playing at Smalls Jazz Club just to keep the feet tapping over here, man. But I'm glad. I want to thank everybody for coming by here, and I want to especially thank Hector Camacho Jr., the Macho Man himself, bro, the son of the original Macho Man. And this is Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. Thank you all for watching, and you have a great evening. Peace.